Manila. There's about 2 million people that live here. Our plane flight was about 14 to 15 hours, and it was over 7,000 miles from LA. This is the view from our Hotel Marriott Manila, and it was gorgeous. In the morning, we did Chinatown, and this Chinatown is absolutely the largest Chinatown in any city and the oldest. And we went on a food tour, and it was simply spectacular. Now, if you look at the wiring here in Chinatown. I've never quite seen anything like this except in now. You have to understand something. This was the worst traffic that Michelle and I were in any city in the world. It doesn't look it right here, but it took an hour to go about 2 miles. It was unbelievable. Okay, here we go. This is called baloots. It's a fertilized duck egg. It doesn't look very inviting to eat. It's fertilized and left alone for about 5 weeks, and now you eat it. And here we go. This is extremely popular in the Philippines and Southeast Asia. Many people eat several a day.
This the big one. Really like the big one.
No big one. No.
Oh, great.
3,000 reals, so 75 cents.
70. So would a
Yeah, I did too. Once in a while we get big. They got a little far. Yeah. Don't tell me to eat them. He's really going to eat it? Yeah. You're going to eat it?
I had a scorpion eat all last week.
So this is a well-made,
It's the yellow.
it's well cooked. And this is 18 days to 21 days. Yeah.
No, it's a duck. Oh, it's a duck.
Yeah, that's the vegetable. That's the vegetable. I want that. That's very good.
And they're making it look pretty.
Yeah. This is here. This is a complete that we eat. Yeah.
On the chair, put on the chair, go there, sit
All
down.
right, Greg.
Don't even carry that spoon.
Greg's going to be sick after this. Cha for the next couple of days.
Gotta find the face and like that first.
So it actually tastes like chicken soup with a little crunchiness. I think it was the beak.
So what's
The next day, we're on our way to the Bataan Death March, which is in the Bataan Peninsula. This is the site where the Americans surrendered to the Japanese in 1942, and we had about 30,000 Americans that surrendered.
And the army, he's also the army cameraman. Yes. That's why I don't have his old pictures. I even don't have his medals. I just found out that his medals were sold by one of my friends. He has 2 purple hearts.
All right.
Yeah, after, when the Japanese would pick someone from the group of townspeople up front, they would be brought here and they would be tortured for information on who are the leaders of, let's say, the resistance
guerrillas?
movements. Yeah, the guerrillas. And once the Japanese are satisfied, they would hand them.
Oh, our guide was called JB. He was absolutely phenomenal, and his grandfather was in the Bataan Death March, escaped and survived.
It's called the town of Baga. This is where all the Japanese all converge the POWs before they would be marched going to O'Donnell. Now, what happened was, when General King surrendered on April 9, the troops here on the eastern side of Bataan, they got the order to lay down their arms. So they immediately surrendered, and by April 10, they started to walk from Mariveles all the way to, but they would be brought here to Balanga so they could all go further north. Now the troops here on the western side, or Baga, they only got the surrender order the next day. And the Japanese were quite angry because they thought that, why are the people here not surrendering? Why are they not laying down their arms? Why are they still kept on fighting? So they found out that there was a breakdown of communications. So what happened was, all of the officers from this area, around 600 of them, were brought to a river on this side of Bataan, and they were told by the Japanese to stand up and face the river, but there was a machine gun at their back. 600 of those officers were killed.
Holy shit.
Filipino and American officers. It's called the Pantingan Massacre. The Pantingan is the name of the river, Pantingan River, where they were gunned down. Now they proceeded here, they met their comrades from the south, and they started to walk. Then from San Fernando, they rode the train, then further up to Capas, where they walked the final 6 kilometers. So in this museum, you will find my grandfather.
Really?
Do we have to...
This is JB's grandfather who survived the Bataan Death March. Here are some pictures of what the Bataan Death March looked like, and if you were tall, they would beat you up badly. This is the beginning of the Bataan Death March. Remember, there was 76,000 prisoners of war, 66,000 were Filipinos, 10,000 were Americans, and they were forced to march 66 miles without any food or water. The death march lasted between 5 and 10 days, and the prisoners were beaten, shot, bayoneted, and in many cases beheaded. So of the 70,000 or so prisoners, only 54,000 reached the camp. After the prisoners marched 66 miles, they were put on a train in boxcars that were so terribly cramped that many of them died in the boxcar itself. So this is an original boxcar, and they jammed, what'd you say, 50 to 100?
50 to 100.
50 to 100 men in here.
So
They
you
couldn't.
said your dad was able to get air.
They could not
from
sit down or lay down. They had to stand up, and many of them just
any
stood
of
up
the
and died.
states, right? Yeah.
Well, they just know because at 6'2", his nose was high enough that he was above the people. So he gets an air.
Yeah, my grandfather said before they would be loaded, they would be forced to take off their clothes. Unlike
Our
with
men
Cabanatuan,
and the
Japanese,
Filipinos
they were
got to Camp O'Donnell.
they were
They found it
expecting
even worse
Mhm.
than they imagined.
These trees were planted by survivors of the war, Second World War. They were planted in memory of comrades who died fighting in World War II. Now there are numbers here, and each number would signify a person.
And how many again?
There are more or less 30,000 of them.
30,000. So 30,000 people at least died here.
Combatants,
Yep.
actually.
And is that Filipino and Americans,
Filipino-
right?
This is the river, the O'Donnell River, the main source of water for the POWs and the Japanese.
Oh.
I suggest we not just go to the other side because it's a bit slippery.
Okay.
And it's muddy over there because it rained.
Okay.
So this was much deeper before the volcano erupted,
Before the
right?
volcano erupted, this was around waist deep.
Mhm.
Now it's only
Ankle deep,
ankle
yeah.
deep. Now the Japanese and some of the prisoners were not allowed to bathe there because they might contaminate the water. So the POWs suffered from malaria, dysentery,
Beriberi, I think,
beriberi.
yeah.
My grandfather himself, when he was imprisoned here, survived malaria. He contracted malaria and he survived.
Wow.
Wow.
And later, folks, you would see his picture in one of the museums.
Oh, really?
You see here, there are names on these walls. Those are those Filipino soldiers who died during the war.
And how many
Not
names?
just here, but in other places in the Philippines.
How many
There
are?
are more or less 40,000 of them.
40,000. Wow.
We could go here.
Yep. Yep, so these are 40,000 Filipino soldiers that died during World War II here.
And
No matter where.
also here, you see 3 sides.
Now we're at Clark Air Force Base, and this is the kamikaze field that was first started by the Japanese. Here's the field, and there's a tunnel to the right. And it was the only tunnel that survived World War II, but the Japanese used it because they needed a tunnel because the American airstrikes were horrific on them. We are now in Bangkok in a thing called a tuk-tuk with our guide Angela, and here we go with another food tour.
Already in the capital. This is the capital.
Yes.
We have about 8 to 10 million people.
Yeah.
And Bangkok is very diverse. In terms of the race, around here, the main commercial people, they were like a half Chinese, half Thai.
Oh,
so then, because the Chinese, they're good at trade, they're good at
Yes.
commercial things. So then the Chinatown is about the New York. In the New York. Yeah, big.
Yes.
Today is Friday. The traffic may be a bit heavier than normal.
The traffic was horrible in Manila. It can't be as bad here. It was terrible. It was much worse than New York. These are grilled scorpions, and I'm about ready to eat one. Here's what they look like. Crunchy.
All right, so I've got Greg here. He's trying a scorpion. We're in the Bangkok Chinatown. So you're trying the scorpion. What is it? Does it have any flavor?
It's crunchy.
It's crunchy. Like what have you had before that equates to?
Nothing. We rode all around Bangkok in the tuk-tuk, and everything was lit up because it was the King's 72nd birthday. And here we are on our final destination, having a drink with our great tour guide, Angela. So today was our first day with the new group, which it was super hot, unbelievably great, 90 to 95, a lot of humidity. And we saw about 4 or 5 temples, and the very first day, which was this day, I was totally templed on. This is Bond, our tour guide. He happened to be a runner also.
Okay, if everyone can hear me right? Yeah.
Yes.
While we walk around together, you can stop to take photos, keep an eye on my flag, okay? Yeah, carry on. Buddhism support the religions of the country. You see over there. Yeah. Come this way, please. And this is a mystical animal. You're in Thailand, when people pass away, bad people go to the hell, good people go to the heaven. And the level of the heaven have the mystical animals there in the heaven.
So here's us messing around at the temples. We were a little sick of them. This is declining or reclining Buddha. And this one is at the flower market. All pretty cool things. So now we're at the train market. See, the train tracks go right through this marketplace, and it was really pretty cool. Wait till you see the video. So after the train goes by, everybody puts out their awnings and sells all sorts of stuff at the train market. And we have to wait until the next train goes back the other way. And you'll see that in just a couple minutes. But you can see the railroad right there, the railroad rails. And it was super hot. Now you can see people starting to put up their awnings because the train's coming. This was really pretty wild.
No lo sé. A ver, ahorita el video. El video toma. Ah, ya me separé.
Hello. Back to you. Yes. Okay, everybody look at me. Everybody look at me. Yes. Okay.
Now we're going to the floating market, and it was really pretty wild. These boats that we're going to get in are called long-tail boats. They have a car engine with a long drive shaft with one little propeller at the end. So here's what they look like. And yeah, this was a great part of our trip. So here's where we stopped, and I bought 2 bottles of freezing cold Leo beer and shared it with Greg and Love, which were in the back of our boat. Yep. Oh my God, ramming spoon.
Yes. Are we going in there? Is that what is happening?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think we're trying to go in there. Oh, look at this. It's narrow.
Holy shit. Not into snakes. Look at there's a that's no that's one of those little
Bush baby.
bush baby. Yep.
Greg, watch out your hand. He's saying.
So this is a perfect place. Greg and Love bought a t-shirt right here. And all he had to do was just give the money to them. They put it in the boat, and that's it.
Sorry. No, I don't shop.
No, thank you.
No.
I saw one bag back there, but I got a lot of bags.
Yeah.
They can't swim, so they have nothing.
Yeah. Life preservers. It's a car engine. Man, it's huge.
That one is in.
Look at that engine.
After the floating market, we stopped at an organic rice farm, and man, the mud was really super thick. We planted it, and then we harvested the new stuff.
I'll get your rice.
You can. Can you do pictures?
Yep. All right, I don't know what she's doing, but she's doing something. All right. Get those upper body muscles. There we go.
The next day, we fly from Bangkok to Chiang Rai, and I got to tell you, this place was really, really hilly compared to Bangkok. And the first place we saw was called the Blue Temple. It was pretty impressive. Then we got to our resort on the river, and just in time for happy hour. And it was wonderful happy hour with great food. But this place, this resort was absolutely beautiful. It had a great shower, but I wanted to take a bath and I couldn't figure it out. Then I wanted to take Michelle in a carriage on a quick ride around the resort, but I couldn't figure out how to start the damn thing. Thing I ran into was this guy. I wanted to give him lessons, but I didn't have time. So the next thing is we take a trip up to the Golden Triangle. So on your right is Laos, above it is Burma, and to the left is Thailand. So now we're about ready to board a boat to the Golden Triangle.
We are abandoning land.
Yep. We're in the Golden Triangle.
We're in the Golden Triangle. It looks more like a brown triangle. All right. Foo. The Golden Triangle. Oh. Oh, it's a big Buddha. Wow.
And they were pretty much engaged by the time he said, oh, wow.
We'll bring the lao beer for you, okay? Coke that we put on this 40-minute boat tour as well. So I suggestion if you drink beer, you can try some lao beer. They have the white lao beers or a dark lao beer as well.
This building is the Golden Triangle International Border Check-in for Chinese and Burma. And in the background, you can see Burma, Laos, and Thailand all at the same time. And of course, behind us is the Golden Triangle. Now we're on our way to a tea plantation after we visit an opium museum. So here's the tea plantation. There's Michelle doing her thing. We had a lot of nice teas, but the best part was the desserts were excellent. And here we are with Bond. So after that tea plantation, we went to visit a gigantic white Buddha who was a female. And I was templed out, but this was pretty cool, I have to admit. And Lily, make sure you don't leave anything there. Now we had about a 3-hour drive and we visited the White Temple. That was also pretty impressive for a temple. And Michelle had to rest with this guy. I don't know what his name was. So after the White Temple, we have arrived at a place after 2 hours of driving, and this is called Cabbages and Condoms Inn and Restaurant. You have arrived at the Rubber Triangle. And of course, they gave away free condoms. The reason for this crazy name is they wanted to have people have less children and farm more. Then we finally got to our Thai cooking class, and I gotta tell you, we had a blast cooking, and the food was delicious, even though we made it ourselves, with a little help from our friend.
Like or you don't like my food, I don't care. Because what I cook is my liking. Yeah. So, but you just taste my food to get the idea how's the flavor you expect to get. This is the best way to learn cooking. If you never tried this food before, you have no idea what the flavor you expect to get. So you taste to get the idea. You might curious why our rice in Thailand look like this. This color, I mean. In Thailand, let me tell you a bit more. We have more than 200. We serve everything together with rice. We don't have step of eating like in the West, the soup, salad, main course. Everything could be on the main course on the table. And when we cook food to serve, eat with rice, we love to make food a little bit stronger flavor than you like. Because when you eat with rice,
And not in the crock pot. Oh my God.
All right, so there's our finished product. Michelle, show.
I cooked.
All right, she
And it
cooked.
tastes good.
look, rice is quite stick together in lump. But once I add more and more sauce, once start to go inside, rice will be
Tell me what you just did.
Amy, what did we make again? Pandan curry?
Penang curry.
Not
No, we just made it. So Michelle is cooking, and we're all done with this one. But we have to pick out the little eggplants, I think, right? Do we pick out the little?
If you don't like it, yes.
And we got to pick out the leaves. And I think that's it. And this is our main chef. He was the man. So after the cooking class, we got to Chiang Mai, and the next day we went on a great hike through the jungle to a waterfalls.
Oh, you're stepping
on.
You need to be ahead? Go ahead.
Ordination tree, no more cutting.
Can't cut that down.
The rope from the monk from the temple.
We're gonna be taking showers tonight, and just dirt's gonna be coming off.
Yeah.
Does that bother you?
No.
Does anybody remember what he said the significance of that big tree was? Where the water started from?
Yeah, when you see that water, when you see that tree, it means you will find out the source of the river or the waterfall. If you, yeah, because this means the good condition of the mountain.
Oh, okay.
That's why they set up the village nearby here.
Got it.
Bond, James Bond. No, we're at like a 200-year-old huge tree, and we all stopped to get a picture. And then we had a wonderful beverage stop, and here are the girls, Amy and Love and Michelle, looking down the valley. And here we are at the waterfall. It was beautiful. So now we walked down to the village, and I had this strange thing. It was honey bee pupa. And it was a little salty for me, and it tasted like honey. and it really wasn't that bad, packed with vitamins and minerals. Now we drove to an elephant sanctuary where we're actually going to make the food to feed the elephants. And this was pretty nice. And these elephants were work elephants, but now they have been rescued and they have a nice life.
But the reason, so it means all the activities we do today, we don't create by ourselves.
No, I don't think I want Sorry. Am I going too slow? Yeah, you're going too slow. They want to eat today. There you go.
Somebody's knocking.
Amy, would you take my picture?
Sugar cane.
Putting a little bit in. Thank you.
Do you have sugar cane in US?
We can
Somewhere.
buy it, but we don't grow
It's
it.
not popular for farming.
Yeah, no, we
Central America.
Thank you.
And if she reach her trunk, please step back because sometimes she thinks you. The baby, her name is Hope. Hope. Hope.
Which is the baby? Oh, must be the one on the right. Let's fit in on the ears.
Which one is the mom?
This one. That one's the mom. Let's see.
So do they take a mud bath every day?
Every day.
Every day.
They prefer a mud bath because a mud they can cover.
The
To make
sun.
them cool the sun.
Sunscreen.
Yeah. Because they elephant they can't sweat. They can't sweat from the skin. Like human, the elephant skin is thick, about 10 centimeters. So that's why they use the mud to cover, and they fit the ear like a function like fan to control temperature.
Wow.
But they sweat, elephant they sweat from the toenail.
Really?
Yes.
But that one, look at the baby is trying to communicate.
Female, big one. All female.
She's sniffing. I don't think I'd have a bull elephant here.
Oh, and the little,
She has tusks.
So after the elephants, we went back to Chiang Mai and we found, yes, the Chit Hole, which was a craft beer place. So in the morning before we were going to fly back to Bangkok and then Phuket, we visited a Buddhist monk temple and talked to some Buddhist monks. And when they said MVP, I knew what it meant, and so did Greg, and we were wrong. So we flew back to Bangkok. Little did we know we'd be flying back and forth through Bangkok 8 times. And now we are going to Phuket, which we can't wait because there's snorkeling. So we're finally in Phuket, and I believe this is called John Gray. What an outfit. They were spectacular. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Aloha. How are you?
And then there were the caves we had to go through, and it had to be low tide because you couldn't get through them if the tide was up. Yeah. I'm taking video right now.
Right, but you can take pictures by hitting that white button.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, this is cool. Yep. Oh, I got a good video of that mud skipper. Okay. Oh, yeah, perfect.
and
then there was Bond in his pink Easter bonnet hat. And this was a pretty cool overhang as we were going by.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And talk about relaxing. This was super relaxing trip, and we loved the kayaks. And we had a group shot, everybody together for that one, of course, pink hat for Bond. Next stop, James Bond Island. It was filmed in Man with the Golden Gun. And here we are, and very strange rock formations. I guess that's why they picked them. And here is Love and Michelle holding up the cliff. It was a slanted rock formation, very strange. And we are headed back to our main boat to go back. So when we got back to Phuket, dinner was on our own, and we found a fabulous pizza place. And I got to tell you, Jackie was ready to party.
Jackie, I want to be just like you when I'm your age.
Yeah.
I agree.
How old is
I
that?
am 77.
How are you doing?
I told her.
I
Yes.
might be 80.
But you don't remember?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I
How-
want to be just
so what-
like you. Seriously. Yes, I do. Yes.
I hope you are.
Thank you.
Will you
Thank
call
you.
me?
Yes,
Definitely. Definitely.
We'll FaceTime you.
Yes.
Oh my God.
All right.
To Jackie. To Jackie.
To Jacqueline.
To Miss Taylor.
Do you meet people your age and you're like, nope, that's not it?
Right?
Like when you meet people your age, sometimes you're like, no. Yeah.
So after the fabulous pizza we had, Jackie was ready to ride a motorcycle home, but she couldn't start it. So after being on the boat for about 2.5 hours, we were ready to get off. It was a long, long ride to snorkel. So after Love bought us a round of drinks, we were ready to snorkel. So these are Sergeant Majors, very friendly fish. And the reefs were actually in pretty good shape. They weren't bleached out like in the Keys in Florida. And the water temperature was about 82. It was very comfortable. And there was actually giant clams, like the one I'm going to do a surface dive and take a peek at right now. So after snorkeling, we came back and had to swing. But the problem was I didn't realize that the swing had already been occupied by Greg. And of course, the next day we had to fight traffic and fly out of Phuket back to Bangkok for our first farewell dinner. So here's the entire group ready for our farewell dinner for the first time. 9 of us flew to Siem Reap in Cambodia, and here is our new guide, Darling, and he's explaining where we're going to go. So the first place we visited was gigantic Angkor Wat temple. It was huge. And a beautiful little girl that Michelle took a picture of. And our hotel was outstanding, all teak and mahogany. And our bus was a little different. It was like a disco. And Bond had warned Darling that this is a crazy group of 9 people, and we had a great time at dinner. The next morning when Michelle and I woke up, we found this gentleman wandering the halls, and we brought him back to his room. This was the sign in front of our hotel. Great hotel. The next day we went to a different temple, and I'm not quite sure what the name of this temple was, but it had a lot of steps and it was crumbly. And the next order of business will be to see where Tomb Raiders was filmed.
Oh, good picture.
Now this is in front of one of the main doorways to this temple, and it was pretty impressive. And here's the whole group in front of a temple. And there's us. And here are tuk-tuks, tons of them going through the temple gates. And this guy wore sunglasses. And right outside the gates, there's this motorcycle with food vendor and a generator. And Michelle found out that there is a marathon the next day we were leaving. And now we're on our way to see where Tomb Raiders was filmed. And this is a little band that was right out in front. And then we ran into hundreds and hundreds of monks. I don't know, there was some type of monk assembly there. I wasn't quite sure what was going on.
His English is spectacular.
Now we finally got to where Tomb Raiders was filmed with Angelina Jolie, and it was really weird. Perfect place for Tomb Raiders to be filmed.
It's not fast.
This root is called the anaconda. You can see why. Freaking huge. And it goes to this tree.
That is one big root.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's the bad part.
So this was in Tomb Raiders. We haven't seen the movie yet, but we're going to. This is a strangler fig.
Daytime, 8:0.
Octopus Tomb Raider. Octopus 3. Angelina Jolie came out of there with the machine gun. We'll see it when we finally get to see the movie. And once again, the entire group near the Tomb Raiders film. Now we're all assembled in the hotel lobby and we're ready to go out on the town. So now the girls found this place. These little fish eat dead skin off your feet, and for $3 you can get that and a free beer. So Greg and I were just sitting, hanging out, drinking the beer.
Oh my god! Yeah! Oh my goodness! You have to put the feet under the water. They actually left my feet!
Look at all the fish around you.
Michelle! Hey, look at!
Thank you. They just waiting for the wise while we're getting this. Oh, so cute.
Yeah, some of them really bite me.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, yeah, okay.
So the next morning before we fly out to Bangkok for our second farewell dinner, this is the Landmine Museum, and it was incredible. And there's the man that started
Everything I
the whole
study hard by
thing.
myself. I never went to school at all in my life. Yeah, I don't read, don't write, but now I can. Yeah. Okay, please start. In 2010. Yeah. Morning, sorry, please come. And this is my house that I live. We build all together with our children. They have no arm, leg, eye by landmine from war. They are the beggar children, no parent. So I help them to change their life better than me. Because I understand when I don't go to school, I never get a job. I don't read, don't write. Then I help the children to make their life better in the future. And a lot of them finish school, they have a job and family now. Yeah, and please wait me there. Wait 1 minute. To destroy landmine, anti-personnel mine. We have the animal also used for sniffing explosive. We have a metal detector, can you see there? And this our body armor protect. Yeah. But by the old way, I did like you, only panels and down. Yeah. All in the museums. And this is my teamwork every day. And these are using for destroy landmine.
Very dangerous because it jump up before.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is from Chinese, from French.
Bouncing Betty's.
That's too
They
old.
used them in World War II.
Yeah, that's too old.
Bouncing Betty's.
It was very in 1929, something like that. And then Japan attacked the France, and France ran away, and then US, and then another more country. We have Russia, China, Vietnam, Laos, German, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Bulgaria, 10 countries. Yeah, invent landmine using Cambodia and 30 kind of mine in here. You will read inside everything.
Now we are back in Bangkok, and this is our second farewell dinner. There are the ladies. This was pretty funny. There's Bond and the girls, and we just met these two guys, and it was hysterical. Here's Greg and Love toasting, and Bond laughing his butt off. And here we are at the airport, and he took us there to leave. And here is the very last time, which is the 8th time we were in the Bangkok airport, and that was the trip.